Hello and welcome to another edition of the C Squared podcast. This is your host Curtis with my co-host Holly, and we are here with Chelf from Metal Digest, which is a metal publication that has been around for a little while. And we're going to be talking to her about metal journalism and a few other exciting topics. But first of all, just wanted to say thank you, Chelf, for joining us.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Awesome. So for very first thing, I'm going to turn it over to Holly to get the questions rolling, and then I'm going to jump in as needed.
Great. So yeah, thank you so much for coming on. It would be great to know your story of how you got into music journalism and how Metal Digest began.
Yeah, sure. My own personal story in, well, I wouldn't call it music journalism. It's more like content creation in a way, out of respect to, real music journalists who studied the field. So for me, it started a couple of decades ago when I started my own blog, and it was on Tumblr back then. It grew and it developed into something bigger. And so I moved into my own website, Chelf.net. And I was interviewing all these people, bands, musicians, artists, and so on. Excuse my puppy, she demands attention. I hope you can hear her. I was doing those short and kind of minimal style of interviews, and they somehow became very popular. And the music magazines were paying attention. So I was recruited by MHF magazine. So I started working with them for a while. And then I was offered the position of the creative director of the magazine, which of course I gladly accepted. Yeah, it was a great milestone in my life. So it was an amazing and very educational experience. And this is where I met my current business partner, Adam McCann. We were doing different things on the magazine. He was a reviewer, I was doing interviews. And very early on, in fact, we realized that we were getting along really well, and we shared the same kind of work ethics, and we had the same mindset. But at the same time, we have very different strengths and very different areas of expertise, if you will. So we kind of completed each other business-wise, and it was a match made in heaven. And we were toying around with the idea of, starting our own magazine at some point. And we just did it, and this is how Metal Digest came to life. So, how it all started with Metal Digest. It was last April, so we're not even 1 year old yet. Yeah, we're so young, but as a magazine, yeah. So we hired an amazing developer who developed the website for us because we realized that having a beautiful platform is the foundation of what we do. So once we got that sorted, we contacted basically everyone we knew, every PR agency, every label, every band manager that we knew. And we said, hey, this is our new project. This is what we're trying to do. And we'd love your support and your help. And the response was amazing. We are so grateful about that. So they were familiar with our work already, so that made it a lot easier for us at the time. And there wasn't a waiting period for us, so we just went straight to business, and we started doing news and interviews and reviews and all sorts of pieces on the magazine straight away. And then we got more people on board. So now there's 9 of us, yeah, so 8 writers and a social media manager, and we're doing our best to keep up with everything and offer high quality content. So yeah, we recruited and we grew really fast, and it's so fulfilling.
I have a follow-up really quick before Holly jumps back in. when did you say you guys started? I thought it'd been like a couple of years. Has it really only been like a few months?
Yeah, it was April Fool's Day. Actually, it was the 1st of April. I just confirmed this with Adam because I was trying to remember how it all started.
Yeah.
To be ready for the podcast, and I was like, Adam, how old are we exactly? And he was like, well, it was the 1st of April. And I was like, wow. Oh my god.
It seems like a lot longer. That's why I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I had one more follow-up question on it. So when you're starting out something new like this, how hard is it to gain traction with getting some of those bigger people on board, like, for interviews, that type of thing?
Yeah, I guess if you're starting from scratch, it would be much more difficult, but we already had the contacts and people knew who we were and they were familiar with our work. So it wasn't that hard for us. We went straight to business and we contacted everyone we knew. So it was a bit easier, but before starting like that on your own, I would suggest like working with or for someone else at first, and get your name, get your work out there, make all the contacts, and then start your own business, if that makes sense.
No, I agree 100%, because you're going to have a tough time if you don't have the previous contacts. Sorry, Holly, I derailed the interview.
No, this is interesting. It's great. Yeah, no, that's fascinating. I definitely thought you guys had been around a lot longer. But I'd be quite interested to know that, what are your favorite and also what are your least favorite aspects of music journalism?
My favorite would have to be getting all those demos and having a different soundtrack every single day before anyone else gets to hear this music, and also the amazing team that I've been working with. They make it so easy and they're all so fun to be around. So that's definitely the most amazing part. And I would say that the most challenging part is, keep updating the content on a daily basis, like every few hours throughout the day, throughout the night, and still maintain a very high quality. So trying to avoid, the fluff and the meaningless stuff, and only upload high quality content.
Yeah, there are quite a few blogs, aren't they, that are going more to the sort of copy paste news item. So yeah, it's really interesting that you're still going for quality when so many people are moving away from it.
Yeah.
So I got a question for you, just as kind of like, so this is, again, I'm derailing the interview, but I'm going to do it anyways. So, sorry, Holly, but so how do I want to phrase this? How do you guys kind of keep everything going? Like, are you guys monetizing the site in any way, shape, or form, or not yet, or no plans, or?
This is the next step for Metal Digest. Actually, I'm glad you asked.
Sure.
We are not monetizing the magazine right now, but we are now exploring how to take like actionable and realistic steps to reach our next goals for next year. So starting January probably, to monetize the website. And we're thinking of putting together a few promotional kits that we can offer to PR agencies and labels and independent artists, and offer real value for money, so that everyone involved wins. And we can make some revenue to put some money back into the magazine and make it even bigger.
Cool. But that doesn't start till January, so you can't really answer my next question. So I'm going to pass it back over to Holly again.
Okay.
Well, that'd be quite interesting to know then. You do quite a range of different features on Metal Digest.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that any are more popular than others with readers?
The reviews are always very popular. Everyone is always excited to read about a new record and see what people think about it, if it's worth the attention or not. And we also have the questions on the go interview kind of feature, which is also very popular. And even among the bands, they all want to do this one. So I would say the interviews and the reviews are the most popular content on Metal Digest.
Cool. So have you got a question, Curtis, or can I carry on?
Carry on. I will stop.
No, that's fine. That leads quite nicely into my next question then, which is how do you do your research for interview questions with bands?
Oh, that's a really good question. Well, if I'm not familiar with the band, I will just download the promo and I will do my own research. Then I will dig a little deeper. I will go into their socials and I will stalk the band for a while. Yeah, it's true, it's happening. If I'm interviewing you, I'm probably stalking you like a couple of weeks ago beforehand. So yeah, I will stalk the band on socials. I will read previous interviews to see what they have already answered, because there's no reason to ask the same questions over and over again. And basically, I will try to find anything I can about the band online or even in print magazines. So I will read a lot, and then I will think to myself, okay, so I have this band, say we're out on a dinner together or we're having drinks. What would I really want to know about these people, or about their new project, or about who they are as individuals, as artists? So I will write everything down. I will brainstorm, and then the interview just comes to life, and I curate it. Of course, I will take out the fluff, because when you're brainstorming, there's always fluff. So you have to curate it, edit it, and send the really meaningful questions back to the band.
Yeah, no, that's great, because I really like the questions that you come up with, because I pay attention to whenever journalists send me questions for bands, and I'm like, yours are always really interesting. So
so much. I really appreciate that.
So I want to take it off the rails again for another second here, if Holly's okay with that. Cool. So one question that I know I get asked quite a bit, and I don't know if Holly gets asked it quite as much, but maybe not. So a lot of bands seem to think, or at least used to seem to think, that if they send a physical copy of an album to a website, they'll get a better chance of getting a review. Is that the case with Metal Digest or not?
Not really. I don't think that's the case with us. I'm a minimalist, so I don't like having a lot of things around. Just the digital form of the music is enough, and followed by a very interesting cover letter or email, like a promotional email. This is more than enough to get our attention. I don't really need the physical copy, unless it's something really special or really unique that I would like to hang on to forever. I'm really good with the digital form of the album.
Fair enough. And then one more thing I wanted to get into, unless Holly had something.
No, go ahead.
Cool. So next thing. So let's talk about pitching for a minute here, because I noticed Holly didn't put pitching in the question, but I'm going to ask about pitching. So a lot of okay. So do you get a lot of independent bands coming to you, or is it mainly PR?
Yeah, we do. We get a lot of emails. So we're getting hundreds and hundreds of emails every single day. Cool. And I'd say 1/3 of those emails are from independent bands just introducing themselves and saying like, hey, this is who we are, this is what we do. Please find attached our latest project and give it a listen. So yeah, I'd say that 1/3 is independent bands.
Okay, so here's a question. What is the best way for an independent band to get covered in Metal Digest?
I'm sorry. My puppy is being impossible, so I missed that question. Let me give her a break. Yeah.
Now I forgot what I was going to say. No, now I got it. Sorry. I just kept thinking about your dog. Sorry. But anyways.
I feel you.
So basically,
my life story.
What's the best way for a independent band to get covered on Metal Digest?
So when you run a music magazine, you're getting, like I said, hundreds and hundreds of email every single day. So you have to make your email, just send us an email. You'll find all our contact info on Metal Digest. send us an email, and you have to make it stand out. You have to make it look very professional, and you have to make it very easy for us to understand the message that you're trying to get through to us. So make it professional and still have your personality shine through, because this is what will get our attention. It's not about the kind of music that I like. It's not about personal preference at all. It's just it's all about us finding meaningful content and interesting things worth sharing with the entire world on Metal Digest. So yeah, just let your personality shine through, skip the fluff, go straight to the point, and attach high quality images, like high resolution images, and always attach a Word document or a PDF with all the info and all your links. Just include everything you have, all your platforms in those documents, and on the actual email itself for easy access. To make it really easy for us to go through your website and your socials and see who you are and what you do.
So I have a question. And so what if I'm a band and I don't have very good personality? How do I get through to you?
Oh, that is a personality. I mean, it doesn't have to be good or bad. It just has to be a signature personality. You know, it's something different from anything that we've seen or heard. So it's not about, there's no good or bad. It's just interesting or not interesting.
Cool. So, okay. So what would be a way that would get me blacklisted from Metal Digest if I was?
Oh, that never happened before, to be honest.
If it did, what would happen?
Well, if you were rude to someone, to our crew or us, I guess you could be blacklisted. But you know, we are professionals. We try to accept it gracefully and, you know, smile and carry on. But we don't tolerate, you know, people being rude to our crew generally. Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay. Anything else that would get blacklisted other than the obvious, like racism or something like that?
Well, yeah. Besides the obvious, like racism, and we don't tolerate hate very well. So we all have opinions, but you know, hate is not allowed on Metal Digest. But besides that, everyone is welcome.
Cool. And then the last question about that is, so for following people up or for following you up, you usually answer like pretty much right off the bat. I've noticed, but like, let's say if someone was trying to get a hold of you, let's say it's an independent band and they don't hear back from you right away. How long should it be before they follow you up?
I'd say a week. We try to respond to everyone within 48 hours max. But if you don't hear from us, of course, we can't publish everything. We're getting so many requests. But if you have something really interesting and you really have something to say to us, just do a follow-up a week later and say, hey, I contacted you a week before and I never heard back from you. So I just wanted to do a quick follow-up and so on. But we are trying to keep up with everything. And even though we can't publish everything, we are opening and reading every single email that we receive.
Cool. And then the final question I got on follow-up is, okay, so how are you with people messaging you on social media for coverage? Is that okay? Not okay?
It's a bit overwhelming. I wouldn't say it's not okay. You know, I mean, they are trying to share their work and they're, you know, trying to utilize every single tool that they have. And I deeply understand that. But always follow the official path, which is the email and the contact form on Metal Digest. Because sometimes, you know, messages on Messenger or on Instagram, they get buried. We get so many that you don't have a good chance of us actually seeing your message. But if you send us an email, we are always dedicating enough time every single day to go through all the email that we receive.
Fair enough. Okay. That's all I got for that question. Holly?
I think you've kind of asked my next question, I think.
I stole.
Never mind.
Well, I can ask another one if you don't have one.
Yeah, if you've got another one, you go and I'll think of something.
Great. Okay, so we're going to ask a goofy question right now, so you can answer this however you want. I don't know if they have this in Greece or not, but I would assume so. Do you prefer McDonald's or Burger King?
That's a tough one. We only have McDonald's in Greece. I'm not really the fast food kind of person, so I'd say Burger King, I guess.
Cool.
Yeah,
cool.
That's a tough one.
It is, but okay. So then we'll make it even easier then. So if you had to pick between McDonald's or KFC, because everywhere's got KFC.
Well, I'm trying to avoid saying the word vegan, but I am vegan.
Oh,
please don't hate me. But KFC, they have good salads, so yeah.
Know that. Okay, fair enough. My question is valid. Okay, so moving right back onto the real questions now. So for getting covered at Metal Digest, so let's say if someone wants to get a placement there, what would be the easiest thing to get from you guys?
Either a review or an interview or a special feature. Anything is possible as long as you've got enough material and you have the time to answer the questions. Yeah. It could be anything really.
Well, what would be the thing that if you guys are overwhelmed with content and stuff like that, but a band really wants to get in touch, really wants to get a placement, which one would it be?
I'd say it's 50-50, honestly. Sure. We're doing so many interviews and so many reviews every single day. So I'd say both. Honestly, it's both. The hardest one would be a special feature. Because that entails a lot of work and involves a lot of people to do the work or a special campaign. But reviews and interviews are always possible.
Are you guys going to be doing, I don't think you do unless I've missed it. Are you guys ever going to be doing streams or anything or no?
No, not yet.
Okay. Is there a reason behind that?
We don't have the manpower for that yet. So we are focusing on high quality reviews and interviews and features on the magazine. But in the future, it's definitely something to think about.
Cool. And then you had sent me the other day or last week or something like that. You guys have a whole bunch of guys now do. We didn't really talk about that yet. So how did you guys kind of come up with all those? That was a lot of you guys got a lot of things you guys got on the go there.
Yeah, so we are brainstorming a lot. We have, please excuse the baby, he's being, hey.
No worries. You have to show him to us at some point. I keep wondering what he looks like.
There she is.
Oh, it's a she?
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
She really wants attention now, so. Her name is Else.
What's that?
Else. Her name is Else.
Nice dog. I love that dog. I want that dog.
Oh no, you can't have her. She's mine.
Back to what we were talking about. Now that we've all been distracted by the dog. How did you guys come up with all those different questions that you guys had?
You mean how do we come up with so many different features and columns, I guess? We brainstorm a lot. We always come up with new ideas. We have a Facebook, a messenger group with all the Metal Digest stuff. And basically we are bouncing ideas off each other all day long. And we just come up with different features, and not all our ideas are that great. So we're just bouncing ideas off each other. So we're like, okay, stop, this is not good, we can't publish that. So keep thinking, and we just keep going. And inspiration is always there. If you're open to it, it's always there. There are always new things to publish and new articles to work on.
Fair. What's something that you would like to have at some point in the future, other than like the streams that we discussed, as a regular feature at Metal Digest, if anything?
Maybe a YouTube channel would be good. so that we can do videos on a regular basis. And of course, if we could get to a point where we could print the magazine, that would be really amazing.
Oh, you want to do print?
Well, hopefully, fingers crossed, someday.
Wow. Okay. Cool. That's neat. Okay.
You never know. You never know.
Cool.
Sky's the
Very
limit.
cool. Okay. Well, I'm not going to ask you anything more about print because it's not a thing yet. But my next question, unless Holly's got something.
You can ask yours first if you want, and then
cool.
I'll go later.
Yeah, I feel like I'm talking over you all the time, Holly. I'm sorry. So, okay. So just one more thing I wanted to ask about was just in regards to the features again. So you have something this month. I didn't really get a chance to really look at it, but you have something about mental health focus. You want to kind of go over what that is?
Yeah, so we are so excited about this campaign. It's our very special December campaign in collaboration with Heavy Metal Therapy, which is an online website with resources. It's a community about people who find heavy metal music or metal music in general helpful with mental well-being. So we're doing a campaign together about mental health and how music can help with that. So we just launched yesterday. It was so well received. I'm so happy about that. So we have feel-good content scheduled for the entire month of December. We have a lot of interviews, resources, playlists, stories from like our own community that someone might find helpful, and we are so stoked to share this journey with everyone on Metal Digest.
Awesome. Cool. Holly?
Oh, that's awesome. My question is going a little bit off topic again, I'm afraid. But I'd be interested to know if you have any advice for bands when it comes to interviews. Because a lot of people, they sometimes seem to struggle with they either say too much or maybe they don't say enough, things like that.
Yeah, I would say keep it sweet and short. That's always the best way to go, at least for Metal Digest, because we specialize in bite-sized content. And don't hold back, but don't be negative. And just let your personality shine through. I mean, we really want to know who you are. We want to know the good stuff, the bad stuff. We want to know everything, basically. We are obsessed with the bands that we feature on Metal Digest. So just be real, just communicate your real concerns, your real thoughts. And if you're funny and you make a joke, that's always a plus.
Cool. I'm starting to run out of time, I think. So, Holly, do you have any more questions that you want to ask Chelf? We've got about 5 minutes left.
We've covered quite a lot. So actually, I think we've, done all my questions.
So I'm going to ask a final question of Chelf if she wants to answer it. And she does, that's fine. Do you have any questions for us that put us in interviewer? I mean, over the interviewer role for a second. Let's see if you have any questions for us before we wrap up.
What would you say is the elements that make you excited to work with a band or an artist?
I know that one. I'll let Holly go first.
I think, it's got to probably be like the personality thing. Like when you get that really creative spark that you can't quite put your finger on, but there's just something.
Yeah.
I pretty much
relate.
Yeah, and I agree 100% too. I think you got to have that personality type thing, and it's hard to describe, but it's a personality type thing. They got to be excited about the music, and they got to like actually want to get their music out there. One thing that I always you got me talking. You got me talking now. This is
see, that's what I do.
Yeah. Good job here. So one thing that I always find difficult is when a band comes to us and they want the publicity, but they're kind of like they don't really want to do anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's almost like a hobby to them, but they want the exposure and they want everybody to know about them and they want everybody to like them, but they don't really want to put in the effort and they don't really want to put in the time. Like they might have great songs and stuff like that. They might even have really good pictures and stuff, but not willing to put the time on the social media. They're not really willing to put the time into a store or anything. Just kind of want everybody else to just kind of go, look at me, how awesome I am, type of thing.
Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that.
It doesn't, and it's the hardest.
It's not viable.
Yeah, it's the hardest thing in the world to work with is people that do that. And there's a lot of people you don't even realize at first that they're going to be that way, and then you start working with them, and then you're like, they really don't care.
Yeah. Oh, I've been there. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. And no, unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. It involves a lot of hard work, a lot of effort, especially today with so much like free music and so much content online. You have to do the extra mile to get noticed. So
100%.
it's not going to happen overnight, and it's not going to happen just by having someone else doing it for you. You have to do it yourself, and also get a lot of help from other experts and experts in the field.
I 100% agree. Do you have any other questions for us before we wrap up? You got a final one if you want to.
No, I think I'm good. I'll catch you guys on social media and on our usual daily emails.
Cool. And what is the link for Metal Digest for the listener?
It's metal-digest.com.
Cool. And with that, thank you very much, Chelf, for your time. And
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. We are done.